notes because I got a lot of information to give you. Okay, I'm gonna try to slow down some, but this information is information I want you guys to have because I believe that this is the year of mental currency versus material currency. So we gotta build ourselves up so we can face what's about to be coming to us. Hello, 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 Miss Michelle. Everybody popping in. Miss Mona.
Hello, hello.
How are you? I see you driving. All right. Thank you for joining in this wonderful Wednesday. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I've already got in my workout for today. And if you are somebody who can work at home, it's good to get in some kind of movement. It's so good for your brain. It's like I read that it builds up your serotonin. So there you go. If you need to feel good, get a little jolt, do about 25 jumping jacks, and you should be good. All right. Good. I see Miss Dr. Shannon Harrington popping in. Good day, as she says. Okay, make sure you got your notebooks, like seriously, because you're going to want this information. And I am hoping I didn't overpack it, but like Dr. Cheryl says, get all of this information. You know how she delivers her information, and I got some of that information for you guys today. It is 12 o'clock. We will be getting started in 3 minutes. Let me see. What did I have? Oh, while we're at it, if you all are into it and you are wanting to engage and be in a group where there is accountability, we're learning about the AIR method, which you hear something about today. I have started the AIR Method Network over on Facebook. It is my personal development, my self-improvement group. And yes, I would love to have you all over there. This month, we are starting on our first book. I just launched this network, and we're reading The Power of Intention. Oh, you can't see that. It's by Dr. Wayne Dyer. We are into chapter 2. Awesome chats in there. I'm hoping to get the engagement up because, like I said, this is the year of mental currency is what I believe. Drop the link in the chat. I will do that once we get to the questions. Well, no, I probably can go right over to Lady Facebook and get it really quick. It is 12:01. I do have a couple seconds. And what else? Let me see. Here we go. Bam. All right, dropping in the chat. Where is my chat? It is 12:02. 1 minute. There is the link. Here you go. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Dr. Emma. I see you pushing people in. Here we go. We're about to get it started, y'all. Like Dr. Cheryl says, please mute yourself. Please be ready to get this information. So have your notebooks ready. And as soon as my 12:03 hits, I am in it to win it. I see a lot of people popping in. Good day, as Dr. Shannon says. All right, let me make sure I got my PowerPoint ready for you all. My notes, and boom, here we are. Let me share my screen so you all can see what we are chatting about today. Today, we are chatting about adapt to thrive, embrace change for personal growth. Now, I know everybody knows about adaptation, but let's get it started. What it do, my GSU family. I'm Angela Williams and the CEO of Mental Health Restoration, where I am a mental resilience coach, AKA your resilience expert. It's my absolute pleasure to welcome you to today's session, Adapt to Thrive, Embracing Change for Personal Growth. In our time together, we're going to embark on a journey that explores the transformative power of adaptation. We'll delve into how adapting to life's challenges can lead to profound personal growth and resilience. This session offers a pathway to perceive life's shifts as gateways to empowerment and growth. All right. Before we dive into our main topic of adaptation, let me briefly introduce you to the AIR method, a framework central to our discussion today. AIR stands for Adapt, Inner Work, Repeat. This method is a holistic approach to personal growth and resilience. It guides us in a holistic approach to personal growth and resilience. It guides us in how to effectively respond to change, adapt, engage in self-reflection and do the inner work and personal development, which is inner work, and apply these insights constantly to repeat, which I like to call an AIR cycle because it repeats. We'll explore each of these components in more detail as we progress, but keep this framework in mind as it forms the backbone of this journey today. It's a blueprint for growth, as I've learned through my own life's challenges. It goes beyond just understanding the concept of adaptation. We're here to unlock the immense potential that lies within adapting to change. It's about equipping you with practical strategies that you can apply in your daily life. These strategies are designed to help you not only navigate, but also thrive in the face of life's inevitable changes. Whether these changes are personal, professional, or even unexpected global shifts, the skills you'll learn today will empower you to approach them with confidence, resilience, and a growth mindset. We're not just talking about adapting, we're about actively engaging in the process of transformation and growth. In the Webster's Dictionary, adaptation is defined as a process of adapting, and adapting means to make fit as for new use, often by modification. Again, adaptation is defined as the process of adapting. Adapting means to make fit as for new use, often by modification. All right. Here is my lovely, lovely kids and my baby dog, Here's my journey of adaptation. And I wanted to give you guys the ages so you can follow the story and the names. Let me take you through a journey, a life-defining chapter of my journey, one that profoundly deepened my understanding and practice of adaptation. In early 2020, a moment arrived that tested my adaptability in ways I never imagined. It was around midnight when my son newborn came knocking, delivering the news that would change our lives. Kai, my oldest son, had been in a serious accident. In that instant, my world seemed to pause. But instead to succumbing to panic, I found myself drawing upon a well of resilience and adaptability that I had been cultivating for years. After taking a breath, I asked newborn to repeat the news. This response was a product of years of learning to adapt as a caregiver to my youngest son, Nation, who has cerebral palsy. Those 18 years of caregiving had ingrained in me an ability to respond constructively to change, maintaining a positive and calm energy, even in the face of the unknown. This was adaptation in its purest form, not just reacting to events, but responding with intention and resilience. As I navigated through Kai's recovery, which thankfully was swift and manageable, I was soon faced with my own health battle. In 2021, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. This period of my life wasn't just about adapting to one significant event, but managing several, balancing my health needs, with my responsibilities as a caregiver and a mother required a level of resilience and adaptability that I had never tapped into before. Navigating my breast cancer treatment with ensuring nation's needs were met was a profound journey of balancing personal health, motherhood, and emotional resilience. Adaptation is our ability to respond constructively to change. It's about developing resilience and flexibility in the face of new challenges. Expect the unexpected. That's my belief. It was my anchor, helping me navigate not just the practical aspects of these experiences, but also maintaining emotional and spiritual structure and spiritual strength. My journey is a testament to the power of adaptation. It's about growing through what you go through and emerging not just intact, but stronger and more resilient. Each step of this journey, from Kai's accident to my battle with cancer while caring for Nation, has been an opportunity to grow stronger and more resilient and thrive. So now we get into the meat and potatoes. Now I'm going to give you guys all the guides with some of the things that I've been learning about deepening our understanding of adaptation. Make sure you got your pens and your notes and you ready, because here it is. Now, as we delve deeper into the concept of adaptation, it's more important to recognize that it as more than just a reaction to change. Adaptation is an active, ongoing process of assessing, responding to, and growing from life's challenges. In my journey, whether it was responding to Kai's accident, navigating my own health diagnosis, or managing my caregiving responsibilities, adaptation meant more than just coping. It involved a proactive transformation of each challenge into an opportunity for growth and learning. This deeper understanding of adaptation as an active and intentional process is what I aim to share through my coaching, helping others to not only navigate their challenges, but to use them as catalysts for personal development and resilience. Having explored the deeper meaning of adaptation, let's now turn our focus to the practical strategies and tips that have been instrumental in my journey. These are not just techniques, they are life lessons gleaned from real experiences, from handling Kai's recovery, navigating my own health challenges, to being a steadfast caregiver for Nation. Each strategy I'm about to share represents a piece of wisdom that can be applied in various aspects of life, helping us to not only face our challenges, but to emerge stronger and more resilient from them. These are the tools that have empowered me and many others I've coached to transform adversity into growth. So number one, we have dynamic role management. And Dr. Shannon did mention something about this last on Monday night in her session. Our first strategy is dynamic role management. This is essential when balancing many roles we have in our lives. For me, it is of a caregiver, patient, wife, and mother. It involves recognizing the unique demands of each role, adapting your approach accordingly, and moving forward. For instance, as a caregiver for Nation, I focused on empathy and patience. While as a patient, I had to prioritize self-care and adhere to all the treatment plans that were set for me during my treatment. This strategy requires mental agility to effectively switch between roles without losing focus or energy. Here are 2 tips to help you apply these concepts, okay? So the first tip you want to do is to set clear boundaries. Establish clear boundaries for each role you play. This could involve dedicating specific times of the day for different roles, or creating physical or mental spaces that are unique to each role. For example, as a caregiver, we have a routine for making sure my Nate stays fresh. Okay, because I have to give him a shower. He can't really do that for himself. And I don't do it every day just because of my mental. It's a thing. It's one thing when you're taking care of a baby and you're giving them a bath every day, but it's another thing when you're taking care of a now 21-year-old and things are he is a full man. So for my mental, I do 4 days a week versus 7 days a week because it helps. And then this includes a specific time of day and weekday that ensures I'm able to focus on my own self and not get overwhelmed with the mental aspect of what needs to be done. He is 21 years old now. Oh my goodness. Saying that is just like, my office is my sanctuary. It is my space to be in coach, speaking mindset, and just solitude when I need it. All around is just positive words, books, just things to fill my life with intention. My husband, they joke on me because they're like, oh, I see a bare wall. There's a space on your wall. And it's like, they're joking with me, but I'm like, okay, but and I've been told it's not clutter. It may look like it, but when you actually sit down and you read everything, they're just positive words, affirmations, just a lot of things to keep me in intention. Tip number 2. Okay, so you got tip number 1 was set clear boundaries. Tip number 2, practice role transition rituals. Okay. Implementing small rituals or habits that help transition from one role to another is a game changer. This could be simple as changing outfits, a short meditation, or a specific playlist that helps you mentally shift gears. These rituals can act as cues to help manage the emotional and cognitive load of switching roles. I have a playlist that I play when we start Nate's hygiene routine and when I start my work day. It's filled with things from gospel to hip hop to um, I have jazz on there. I love the trumpet, so I have a whole bunch of Woody Shaw on there. And it even when I put my workout clothes on in the morning to keep exercising my thoughts so I can get it right. Okay, so that's tip number 2, practice role transition rituals. I mean, it can be so small for you, but it'll just help even in the morning to get you ready for your work day. Put on a podcast. That'll get you in mode for work mindset, that creative mindset. All right, so number 2 strategy, we have emotional and mental synchronization. This goes beyond basic emotional intelligence. It's about aligning your emotions with your mental strategies. In my health journey, I use my emotions as a guide for decision making, transforming fear into careful planning and hope into positive action. This synchronization is key to making decisions that are emotionally sound and strategically effective. Example, I was supposed to get my gallbladder removed. I was having issues, nauseous, and just a lot of breathing constricting things. And I had went and the doctor told me it was my gallbladder. Come to find out, if not from listening to myself and actually using my emotions to make a decision and actually telling my pop, oh, I need to go to the hospital, my appendix would have burst from me sitting in my bed, sitting there lethargic. It got to the point where I couldn't even think straight. And I started feeling like I did when I had chemotherapy, when I was on chemo and I was in fight or flight mode. Like I was hot, I was sweating, and I was like, okay, this is not it. So I went to my pop-up and I was like, okay, I think I need to go to the hospital. And when I got to the hospital, they were doing all kinds of tests. He came back and was like, we got to give you antibiotics because I guess some of it already had it to seep in. And he was like, we got you scheduled for surgery. So if it wasn't for me effectively knowing and making that decision calmly to be like, okay, let me take myself. He was like, it could have been worse. So let's take that in. Now, here are 2 tips to help with emotional and mental synchronization. Tip number 1, reflective listening and communication. Practice reflective listening and communication in your daily interactions. This involves actively listening to others and reflecting on their words, which can help in understanding different perspectives and managing emotional responses. It's a way of synchronizing your emotional understanding with others, leading to more empathetic and effective communication. One of the many lessons I learned being a special needs mom. And that was how I'm able to talk with my doctors. They look at me like, oh, you know your body so well. And it's like, well, yeah, because of my son. Like, there are so many lessons that I've learned just by being a caregiver about my own body and how things work, having to watch him and take care of him. Okay, so tip number 1 was reflective listening and communication. So on point when you are dealing with intentions. We must listen to each other. I think that is just so important that we do. Tip number 2, cognitive restructuring techniques. And change your thoughts, change your life. That is just like my simplest explanation of that right there. Change your thoughts, change your life. And I really, really believe that a book I recommend for that is The Power of Intention, Learning to Co-Create Your Life Your Way by Dr. Wayne Dyer. And Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life by Dr. Wayne Dyer. I recommend those 2 books. They can aid in restructuring your mental house. Cognitive restructuring includes identifying and challenging negative thought patterns. This can help in aligning your emotional responses with a more balanced and rational perspective. Techniques like challenging catastrophic thinking, think about it. You're thinking about what can go wrong. Start thinking about what can go right. And focus on positive outcomes. This can significantly aid in achieving emotional and mental synchronization. All right, so those 2 tips are reflective listening and communication and cognitive restructuring techniques. Okay. Let's move on to our final strategy. It's integrated resource leveraging. This involves using all resources, personal, professional, and communal, in a cohesive manner where they all work together. I combined my inner resilience with external support for from healthcare professionals, family, and community networks. This approach ensured comprehensive support, balancing self-reliance with external assistance, and was crucial for managing these complex life situations. For example, when Kai went into the hospital, when I found out Kai had got into his accident and I was at the hospital and it was like 4 hours, I went onto Facebook Live and I pulled at my Facebook community. The prayers were overwhelming. Being able to go that 7 days that he was in a coma, the prayers, the support, all of that is what kept me going, because I came live every day and I shared his progress. And it was just like, it was the support that helped. So the 2 tips I have for you for our integrated resource leveraging are: number 1, prioritize and delegate. Okay. Identify tasks or responsibilities that can be delegated to others. And this was hard for me these last couple of years, because I'm so used to having to do everything myself. And I was tested because I still was doing stuff, but I knew I had to delegate some things, because when you have chemotherapy and you're doing all these treatments, there were certain things I couldn't do. So for me, it involved asking my family members to share in caregiving duties and getting a companion for Nation, so that I could live a life outside of caregiving and focus on my purpose. So that's where we're at now. He has a companion that comes in a couple times a week and sits with him. They go places, they do things just so that I can focus on me a little. The key is to recognize that leveraging resources often means trusting others to help carry the load, allowing you to focus on the areas where you are most needed or effective. And I believe this is where I'm needed at now. So here we are. So number 1 tip, prioritize and delegate. Number 2, regular check-ins with support networks. Regular communication with your support networks, whether they are family, friends, professional contacts, or community groups. These check-ins not only provide emotional support and accountability, but also keep the lines open for assistance when navigating complex situations. And I learned this by a group that I am in, and it's called the Next Level Chicks, and they are awesome at this support network where we hold each other accountable. We meet every month. There's a goal check, like keeping you in check with your goals, making sure you're accountable for doing those, setting deadlines. So number 2 tip is regular check-ins with support networks. Again, come on over to the AIR Method Network where I got you. All right. These strategies, dynamic role management, emotional and mental synchronization, and integrated resource leveraging have been instrumental in my journey. They're essential tools for personal growth and are particularly effective in complex life situations. As we face our own challenges, applying these strategies can help us adapt and thrive. Remember, adaptation is our ability to respond constructively to change. Let this principle guide us, empowering us to grow and succeed in the face of life's challenges. As we draw our session to a close, I invite you to take a moment to reflect on the lessons shared today. Embrace the changes that come your way. Engage deeply in inner work to understand and grow from your experiences, and repeat these steps as part of your ongoing journey of personal development. That AIR cycle: adapt, inner work, repeat. Remember, every challenge we encounter is not just an obstacle, it's a stepping stone towards greater strength and resilience. As we move forward, let's carry these insights with us, applying them to our daily lives. Let's embrace our new challenges as an opportunity to learn, grow, and thrive. And always remember, we can elevate our lives one AIR cycle at a time. This is not just a method, it's a blueprint to continual growth and transformation. The floor is now open for a Q&A. Whether it's about AIR Method, the strategies we discussed, or how to apply these concepts in your own life, I'm here to engage and assist. So please feel free. Let me push myself over so you can see. Please feel free to share your thoughts, experiences, or anything that's on your heart, and let's continue this journey and growth together. Pop myself over. Let me stop sharing my screen. Now I can see the chatty. All right.
Hey, Miss Angela. This is Olympia. Hey, everybody.
Hey.
I just wanted to say I loved everything you said. I love the AIR method. You gave excellent information. But one thing that hit me right in the gut was delegate, delegate, delegate. I am guilty. I don't know how many of us are of trying to do everything by yourself. I'm excited that I'm with GSU as well as other communities that I now know I have brother and sister help that I can reach out to other people's expertise to assist me in growing me. They can help grow me, I can help grow them. So I am learning after 27 plus years how to delegate more and stop trying to be a solopreneur and bring my family in to help me. That's my comment. Much love you.
Thank you so much. It's not easy, and I'm still delegating, like the companion that's supposed to help. He's supposed to be able to give Nation a shower and do all of those things, but I'm still like, no, I'll do that. You just wait and I'll have him out in a minute. So it's like turning it over is hard. Hello, Miss Michelle. I see you.
Hello, Dr. Cheryl. I see you too, and I appreciate you so much. Like I was like you were talking to my soul. I remember at SpeakerCon, I spoke. I had the honor of being chosen and on stage one-on-one with Dr. Cheryl, and it just really elevated me. But hearing you today, it just gave me more confidence and reassurance that I'm on the right road. That setting the boundaries, man, that is so challenging for me because I am technically by myself, so to speak.
Mhm.
Even though she has no family. And her friends will call and say this, that, and here, and I'll give them the days that they can come and da da da, but it never works out for them. So what I have learned, and just by listening to you these short minutes, is that now I just give them a time, and if you can't make it, it's okay. And I stopped the being that anger piece, that I had before. And then when you were talking about man, the music and all these, so I'm just like, Lord, thank you for the confirmation, and just having the mindset and being in alignment with someone that is in the same situation. My person is different, but the situation is so similar. Like when you're just thrown a trauma, like, you're just thrown into something that you don't expect. And how do you get prepared for it? And then the resources were not as available. And it's just such a blessing. So I just want to say thank you. It was just such a blessing to my soul just to hear that reinforcement that Michelle, you are doing the right thing. You are going in the right direction. So I love you to life for that. And thank you so much.
Thank you. It's not an easy thing to be a caregiver and then try to do your life too. And I've been learning that this last 2 years being in GSU and going through this journey of separating and being a carrot, still knowing I have to, but I have to delegate more. And it's like a pull and tug right now. It's a pull and tug. What do I delegate and what do I do? Because I know I'm supposed to be his caregiver for his life, but I also know that this is what I'm supposed to do too. So it's like figuring it out, and we working it out together. Thank you so much. I do appreciate, and that is really what I wanted it to come out to be for you guys today.
Hey, Miss Ange, this is Dr. E. Wonderful session, but it gives us, and I love these sessions because it gives us from another perspective and hearing things, and you really never know what people need to hear and how it's going to help. And always thank you, Dr. Cheryl, because the vision God gave her for all of this, it really has put another perspective and we see it. But just to give the information and that you have come to the understanding that with the delegation and with helping that you can't do it all by yourself. But because you as a mother, mothers are going to go the extra 10,000 miles, but that you do have help and that we are helpers one to another and iron sharpens iron. But the information you gave gives everybody here another perspective of how to look at it, add this, apply this information, and that we can too, like what Miss Michelle saying, it helped her. And so she looks at things different. If they can't make it, bam, okay, don't get angry, whatever people's schedules, whatever it is, you're going to do it. But thank you for the information. And so it just gives me even a whole nother perspective, because I know when my mom was alive, I was traveling from Baltimore to PA every appointment, even though it was 8 of us, you know what I'm saying? But I used to tell my brothers, you're right there, but I couldn't focus on that. I'm there, I'm doing, but whatever part you're going to do. But thank you for the information as always.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
Hey, Angela, it's Dr. Cheryl. Great job.
Hey, Dr. Cheryl.
I couldn't wait for the community to hear your story. Y'all, at some point I'm gonna get back on the camera, but I think this has kind of been making me a little lazy. The fact that I have qualified, equipped people to run these things. I'm like, hallelujah, amen. I can keep my pajama top on and not even get on the screen. But I just wanted to celebrate you. It was such a beautiful, vulnerable session. And I'm so glad that you gave yourself permission to be that vulnerable, to share your truth and just a small snippet of some of the things that you go through on a daily. And I agree with what Michelle said and Dr. Eric. And I feel like in terms of, like Dr. Eric was saying, in perspective, I think sometimes it also makes us sit back and say, what the heck am I complaining for? Because sometimes we're not dealing with, not that we're comparing challenges in life. However, sometimes we're getting to a mode of complaining, moaning, groaning, whining about what ain't going right. And you look to your sister or your brother to your left or your right, and you realize, let me just be quiet because I don't have half the load that they have on them. So for you to be a caretaker of your 21-year-old son, for you to be, going through the chemo and the process of recovering and healing your own body. And then also adding to that, God, I also want to honor the calling on my life. I mean, that's a lot on anybody's plate. And so I celebrate you, and you guys will always hear me talk about Angela because I know what she's going through behind the scenes. And yet she still shows up. And yet she still shows up. So what is it? We have to ask ourselves, what minute things are we allowing to prevent us from showing up? And is it really a good enough excuse that you think it is for you not to show up? So it's just really, it allows us to kind of breathe that in, sit with that, and reanalyze our own actions. And am I really giving all that I can give? I mean, Angela comes to the DMV like she live around the corner. When in actuality, she live in Pennsylvania. I'd be like, girl, you here more than I'm here. Like you had an event here in the DMV, and I live in the DMV. But it's that tenacity in her spirit. It's the interest, it's the committed to versus interested in that is inside of her that I guess you just can't pay for that thing. You either you got it or you don't. And if you don't got it, you might want to get around some folks who do got it so that you can pick up what the skills that are needed and the characteristics to say, I'm in this no matter what. I will do this no matter what. And then last but not least, and then I'll turn it back over to you and stop talking. I celebrate you because I remember you coming to the GSU summit I had and speaking. That was your very first time ever speaking on stage. Was that last year or the year before?
2022.
2022, y'all. She had never even been on stage. And look at what her background says right now. She is an elite GSU elite team leader. And it's not just because we allow anybody to be a team leader. It's because she's done the work. She showed up. She kept and continues to kept growing, and personally and professionally. She has the spirit of resilience, which is what seems to be the theme for this week. So again, anything that you desire, you can accomplish regardless of challenges, regardless of what's happening in your personal life or your professional life. When you get knocked down, when you get knocked back, sometimes we move 5 steps ahead and feel like we get knocked 10 steps back. And we're like, wait a minute, what's happening here in life and in business? But all of us have the potential to still win big if we're willing to implement some of the things that Angela talked about today and really work on our resilience muscle. And when you talked about that part about leveraging people to help you, and that meaning that you've got to increase your trust muscle. Hello, how many of y'all that like resonated with you? That really resonated with me, because imagine she's leaving her son in someone else's care. But if she doesn't do that, then she doesn't get the mental wellness break that she needs so that she can continue functioning to show up and serve us the way that she served us today. And sometimes the trusting part, what hit me, Angela, when you said that, the trusting part was trusting and knowing that that person who comes in and gives the care probably ain't going to do half as good of a job as you are. But understanding that as long as that person is giving excellence to your child based on their ability, that at some point you got to step back, let other people help so that you can do the thing that you've been called to do. So just, there were so many powerful takeaways packed in your session. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm turning it back over to you.
Thank you, thank you. I appreciate that so much. And that's one of the things that I'm working on also is taking feedback. Actually, because it's something I never really got. Like I never had people like, oh, you're doing it until now. And it's like, okay, say thank you, say thank you, say thank you. But that's what I wanted. I wanted you guys to get, so I have so much information in my brain that has just been stored up here. Like this is a 26-year motherhood trip that I've had. And 21 of those years has been watching somebody's milestones. Like we watch our babies and their milestones, but when you watch a special needs person with their milestones, it really, really puts in perspective a whole lot more. The little things. You pay attention to the little things, like of paying attention to people, of actually listening to people, of actually like really being like, do I hear you, or do I hear some of what you're saying? Am I getting bits? Am I over here somewhere? No, I actually had to pay attention, and I still have to pay attention to him. Like, cause sometimes I'll be looking at him like, bro, you got to repeat that like 2 more times. Cause he's so tight that when he talks to me, sometimes he gets so excited that I don't understand him. And I had to, and I do that for people, and I wish people would do it for me also. And it's a lot of people that hear you, but they ain't paying you no attention. And that is what my thing is in 2024 is mental currency versus material currency. This year, let's pay attention to each other more. Let's learn each other more. Let's engage more about those things, about ourselves versus what's going on out in the world. Yes, Cat Williams is speaking it, and that needed to be heard for the world also. But what are your things that need to be heard for the world? What inner things do you need? What truths do you need to speak? Because that keeps you authentic. It's what keeps me authentic. So that's what I'm coming to bring you guys. I'm coming to bring you guys all of these lessons. So make sure you got your notebook every time you see me. Anybody else have anything to say or questions? Come on over to the AIR Method Network, you guys. Come on over. We're reading, we're doing, we're growing. Yes, mental currency versus material currency. That's the goal. That's where we at for 2024. That's the intention, because intentions are different than goals. But if there's nothing else, we can go on, and I'll let you guys have your day. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you all so much. I saved the chat so I can go back and read everything that I missed. And yes, I appreciate you so much, Miss Emma. Thank you so much. You were awesome.
Bye. Thank you, Angie.
You're welcome. Dr. Jonas, get with me. Call me, so we can chit chat, okay?
Dr. Jonas with the bonus.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I'll call you. Congratulations. Great job.
Thank you. Everyone have a great day.
Bye.
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 Thank you again, Dr. Cheryl.
Bye.
Hey, Dr. Eric.
See y'all at 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
Yes, ma'am.
See you at
Yes,
8.
ma'am. I forgot. Miss Emma, come on.
Miss Emma, I'll see you at 8, Miss Emma.
See you at 8. Good night.